Alrighty. So this is going to be what you can expect in November. And I know I missed out on the weekly one this past week, but I don't know, my energy has just been completely depleted for this past week, and I just had to honor that. And I feel like a lot of people have been moving through that of like this just feel like there's just a recalibration going on and it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, yeah, I feel like a lot of people have been off, and there's been things coming up the last couple weeks. Like I've said before, 2025, like I'm ready for it to come to a close. Um, I'm ready. I'm more than ready. But anyway, November. Let's concentrate on November because there was like a main theme in November. Um like a very, very interesting that it was just hyper focused on this one thing, which obviously we're gonna get into. Um, but I'll start out with basically saying that a lot of you are coming into leadership, like shining brightly, using your voice and your expression. And I can't remember if I said this for October as well, but again, just because energy doesn't really follow like month to month type of thing. I feel like it's a wave thing, which I've brought up that wave before. It's there's like a this slow buildup of something, and then like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So oftentimes you'll see um similar themes repeating. And I feel like I feel like I brought up something about leadership for the month of October, or at least like being creative and using your expression, your voice, which ultimately when you think about it, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So yeah, there's a lot more of like stepping up into leadership, stepping up into who you're meant to be, like who you've come here to be, and the gifts, whatever it is that you need to share, right? You're coming into that, you're sharing that, I feel like so many people these days we're just all being tapped on the shoulder of like, what the hell are you doing? You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're on this other path. And the funny thing is, like, I never talked about this, and I feel like I should on a like completely separate message. But like when we're not following the path that we're meant to be walking on, it actually ends up being very difficult. Like, yeah, we can walk that path, but it ends up just being so treacherous, challenging, a lot of heartbreak, like there's constantly going to be things coming in to almost be like, "Hey, this is not the right path for you. Why are you?" It's like going upstream. It's like, yeah, you can go upstream. Yeah, you can waste a lot of energy and force your way up the stream, but why would you want to do that if the whole like there's this energy force that wants to take you down the stream, and if you just freaking surrender and let go and trust, and yes, it is the unknown, it's like your path is not meant to be so I don't know if I wanna use the word challenging, but because obviously we do have to go through challenges, but it's not supposed to be so that, like, striving energy of, like, "I need to go and do this," and there's challenge after challenge, and you're met with so many obstacles, and it's just, like, it feels heavy. Do you know what I mean? When kind of like, again, using that stream analogy, it's like when you're going upstream, it's dense, it's heavier, it doesn't feel natural, right? But when you surrender and you let go and you can move with the forces, move with, where your soul is telling you to go, it's like, yeah, you'll still be met with some challenges and obstacles, but it'll be easier to go through, right? And I feel like a lot of you are just starting to realize, like, whatever you're doing, whatever path you have been on. So I know for a lot of you, this probably might have actually dissolved earlier in the year. Again, 2025 has just been a year of like dissolving illusions, things that aren't really meant for you, whether that's relationships or career, job, whatever. A lot of that has been dissolved. And if it hasn't been dissolved for you yet, like it could still be dissolving, right? And this isn't to, make you scared or anything. It's just like, if you're not on the right path and your soul is trying everything to get you to the right path, like, you're gonna have something come up unexpectedly where that thing will be removed from your path so that you can course correct and go to the right path, right? And again, you could just be feeling this internally. Like, you could be feeling that like tap on the shoulder of like, hey, remember that calling that you have, that thing that you have inside of you. It's time to start doing that. It's time to start exploring that, right? So a lot of you are just, you're stepping into that. Um Using your voice, using your expression, using whatever gifts you have to start creating that. And like I said, there was like a very main theme of November, which, yeah, we'll get into in a second. I just kind of wanted to go over some of these points. But yeah, there's this like fiery, I want to say like lion, tiger type of energy, of like leader type of energy, where you're becoming more brave, more courageous and confident and bold to take the right actions and start growing healthy roots to support the foundation of whatever you are building, of whatever you are creating, right? There's more of that fiery, bold energy of like, what am I doing? I keep playing small. Let me step up. Let me step, like, into this leadership role of whatever you're creating, right? This month also feels like there's going to be happiness, joy, celebration, time with friends. There's like, yeah, there's this like fiery, bold, magnetic type of energy, but there's also like this like cozy, cozy. Oh, yes, this cozy, which makes sense. Like, we're obviously coming into November. And then, December, so it is like more of that cozier kind of wanting to connect and be close with the people that, you truly care for. Yeah, creating stability, whether it's from yourself, you're creating that stability, or it just could be coming through an opportunity where it's basically like you're hearing good news about something, like a project or whatever that like, it really depends on you, right? It depends on what it is, but it's a form of stability. So again, it's like whatever you're creating it because it will also bring you stability. Um, or, if you want to get into some line of work, maybe you've been trying to, and it's truly aligned with you and your soul and like the highest path for you, you could just be receiving news about like getting it or whatever, right? Trust me, I know I've talked to so many people where there's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's been a lot going on. I get it's been like a very confusing, dense and heavy time, like, truly. Let's be honest, it's not just me. I've talked to so many people where it's just been that way, and going back to that wave analogy, if you guys watched that, which I did it last week, it really does feel like we are starting to come out of that, but it's gonna be a slow and steady climb out of that, right? So just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, savor it, and, patience. Which I know for people like myself, patience is not it's not my strongest, and it's, been one of the lessons I've had to learn this past year of leaning into patience and trusting in divine timing and not, like, forcing things and making things happen, right? So, I get it, I get it. Whenever I'm like, "Okay, I think I've learned patience, like, I grew my muscle in, like, patience, I've worked it out, and it's grown." I don't know, I get handed with another situation, and it's like, "Are you serious? Are really?" So I get it. If you're there, I freaking get it. It's trusting the divine, leaning into it, and trusting that everything is working out for your highest good. Okay, so next thing I wrote was you might actually have a change of perspective on someone, whether this is a friend or lover or past lover. Like, essentially, like, basically what I wrote is, like, you'll see the real them, like, yeah, the truth of their being, which either will lead to strengthening the relationship or dissolving it, right? Like, it's basically going to be a clarity moment, um, where it almost feels like, I don't know, it could have been, like, someone that came in again, it could have been, like, a friend or a lover or whatever, I don't know, where they were mirroring something to you and vice versa, and it's like both of you needed to learn something from that, and it's like, you could've you could've had a certain perspective on them, whether good or bad, I don't know, depends on you. Um, and I feel like in November, something may happen, yeah, where it's like you'll see the truth of their being, but it's going to change that original perspective that you had on them. Again, good or bad. So let's just say you had, like, a bad perspective on this person, you're kinda like, "I don't know. I don't know if I trust them." And then they come in and they do something or say something or whatever that you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, okay, I guess I was wrong about you," and it changes your perspective on them, ultimately strengthening the relationship. Or if it's vice versa, if it's like you had a good one, they do something where it completely you're like, "What?" And then it kind of you're like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna put my boundary and my discernment in here, and that's it," right? It depends. Um, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get into the meat of this because this was, like, so like, the main message of November was there's so many of you that are working on something, building something that is supposed to help humanity in whatever way, shape, or form, right? Don't think too big in a sense of, like, I don't know, something wild, right? Where it feels overwhelming. Not saying that that's a bad thing. Sure, that could be for some of you, but literally it could be like, I don't know, writing songs and sharing that, and it is supposed to help maybe inspire people or whatever, right? Like, that's what I mean, right? Like, you don't have to do anything on, like, a grand scale, right? It's literally it depends whatever you're doing currently that you can, that you can in this current moment offer, that's creating an impact anyway, right? Because when we're all kind of doing that, putting out whatever we can that will help people or inspire people or whatever, we're building that momentum, right? And so whatever you're called to do, like I said in the beginning of this, do it. Continue to do it. Continue to share your gifts. So many of you have such precious gifts inside of you that are meant to be shared, that are meant to come out in this world. Truly, like whenever I see people really tapping into their self-expression and they're sharing it, they're creating whatever they feel called to, I think it's like the most beautiful thing, and it inspires me to do whatever I need to do, right? It helps me also be like, yeah, I'm going to continue doing X, Y, and Z to put that out there into the world, and maybe that will inspire somebody else. If not, that's fine. Again, like feel like we attract the right people to be inspired by, right? So yeah, the like the main message was like a lot of you are doing that. A lot of you are sharing from a true, beautiful, authentic place. The whole purpose of it is to help humanity, is to help the earth, people, whatever. It's basically building this new earth. Because again, I'm sure you know, guys, a lot of the systems right now, they're crumbling. They're crumbling. And it might not look as crazy and chaotic, but like truly, like I almost feel like a lot of people, and I've seen this myself actually. Whenever there's like a lot of chaos happening that like big companies don't want you to know about, they know how to mask it very well. Where it doesn't look like that to the public. You might see a little few things, but you don't know the impact of it on the inside. And I feel like that's what's happening. And truly, like these systems are meant to crash and burn because it's not meant to go to where we're actually headed, right? Um, chaos before order type of thing. So yeah, a lot of you are planting, not even planting. The seeds that you have planted, they're starting to take root. And it's just early stages of growth right now. So is it a full freaking oak tree? No. But you've already planted the seeds. Like you're already sharing and you're already doing whatever you can to put whatever out. And so you've planted those seeds and now they're taking root. They're taking root. It still will take time, energy, intention, action, all of it to continue growing that into something bigger, into that beautiful tree, right? Of whatever you're creating. But like truly that was like the main message. Like I was kind of shocked that I was like, man, there's a lot of you that are doing something. Truly, you're doing something beautiful and very impactful for the world. And yeah, I might not feel that way, but trust me, it's like when you use your authentic expression and your gifts, it goes out there. It has a ripple effect and it's doing something. It's doing something. And again, I've mentioned this before as well, I think on last month, that continue doing what you're doing because you'll also attract the right people to help you to continue building whatever you're building, right? The right people will find you. They'll want to collaborate with you. They'll see your vision. They'll see what you're building and they'll be like, how can I help? Because I believe in this. I trust this. and I want this to come out even more. So, yeah, continue because a lot of you are just being more, like, brave and bolder, like, stepping into that and being confident in what you're doing, what you're sharing, what you're creating, and you're just like, "All right, I'm," which connects to the message, and I don't, did it go out yet? I don't yeah, I think it did. I think I named it, like, "All Eyes on You," which is all about, like, recognition. People seeing what you're doing and being like, "Yeah, I see this. I see what you're doing. I believe in this. I wanna help you." And you receiving that recognition for whatever you're doing. Wow. I didn't even write that down, but, like, it connects. It completely connects. Um, what I also wrote down is, yeah, the work that you're doing, whatever you're creating, whatever you're putting out there, it is being protected. It's being protected by, like, whatever you believe in, whatever unseen forces, because you're meant to bring this out. You're meant to continuously pour into, like, this new earth, basically. So it is being protected, trust that. Even on days where it feels challenging or whatever, like, you're like, "Oh, no one really saw this." Trust. There's magic happening behind the scenes, truly. There's magic happening behind the scenes where your stuff is meant to be seen. Your stuff is meant to be seen and recognized by the right people. Don't concentrate on that. Just trust that this higher power, this higher force, whatever you believe in, has your back in that. Especially when you believe in what you're doing, you believe in what you're creating, there are forces around you that want to see you win, that want to see your light continue to shine. And you need to just continue flowing with that river. And yes, sometimes when you flow down this river, like, yes, sometimes there'll be a log or whatever. But again, when you work with the forces, it'll be easy to maneuver, away from that log, right? Um, that was honestly, like, the main message. Like, I was actually kinda shocked. I'm like, yeah, there's these, like, side messages of, like, happiness, joy, celebration, time with friends, a change of perspective on someone, whether for the good or not. Um, but, like, the main message was about, like, whatever you're creating and that it's being protected and that you're rising up, stepping up, which amazing, 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 amazing. Um, Also with, you rising up and stepping up, being a leader, right? A leader in this space of whatever you're doing, whatever you're creating. I wrote, when stepping up to become a leader in that space, obviously it's going to come with its own challenges, right? Of being that, because it's not like you're just going to wake up and be like, okay, I'm a leader, right? You need to rise up and step up into that, which you will face your own challenges in order to become that leader, right? Because if you're leading from a place of ego and that, like, you're the only person and there's like this ego and pride to it, like, oh, be careful because that force will come in, sit your butt down and humble you real quick. Real quick. But if you're doing it from a place of, like, balance, of humbleness and humility, and of love and compassion, like, yeah, you're stepping into that, but you're also gonna be forged in the fire to, see if you're really ready to rise even higher. into this like leader status. And honestly, now it's just kind of reminding me of some of the things that like I have had to go through, which I didn't even expect. Um, Especially when I started to step more and more into this space and reclaiming my voice and reclaiming my like light within. There's been things that I've had to like face where I didn't even think I was going to face. And it was kind of like that bit of a challenge to see if I was going to let it affect me, and I didn't. Right. So things like that, like things you could be faced with that of like, are you really going to let small obstacles or whatever comes your way set you back? Or are you going to stay centered, stable, and continue moving forward, right? Because that's how you rise even higher into this like leadership status. Yeah, and I wrote stay anchored in integrity and truth. Oh, especially when you want to become a leader in your space, you have to be anchored in integrity and truth. That's the only way. Because if you have any deception in you, careful, because I'm telling you, there are these like forces that are just like, we're not playing. and and those people, like their masks come off real quick. Like we're coming in the age of truth. Clear, radical truth. Which is why so many people have had to do shadow work the last year. Because guess what? All those shadows are coming up to the surface. And we have to confront them, especially when we're doing this work, especially when we want to build something that helps humanity, you know? Um okay, so the only other thing I because that was literally the main message of like whatever you guys are building, continue putting that out there because it's meant to change something beautiful like in this world. But yeah, the only other thing I wrote was new ideas, inspirations, aha moments, and clarity to be expected this month. Um, the numbers 10, 5, 7, and 3 were coming out. So again, we're having this repetition of like 10/1. And I swear to God, that started in September, which like it was all about like new beginnings, completion, end of a cycle, beginning of a cycle. And again, because we're all on like different paths, you know, some people they began their new cycle in the month of September and some in October. And it literally looks like, again, we're seeing this again, that like November still has that energy of new beginnings, new cycles. And it's just really interesting how it's like we're coming closer to 2026, which again is a 10. So I'm honestly I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So some of you are coming into a new beginning, a new cycle. Um and I almost feel like sometimes we start like a new beginning, new cycle in something in 1 month, and then we'll start a new beginning, a new cycle in another month. So that could also be the case, right? Where it's like, for example, let's just say in September, maybe you started a new project. Well, that's a beginning of a new cycle in maybe, I don't know, career or whatever, right? And then in the month of October, maybe you start a new cycle of like this new self that you're becoming, this leader that you're becoming, right? And you're stepping into that, right? And then maybe in the month of November, maybe it's a new cycle of maybe relationships, right? So I don't think it's like when your new cycle begins, everything begins in that, you know, moment, right? It could just be one little aspect, and then, you know, you'll kind of move through and open new cycles and new chapters in like different areas of your life. 5, which is change, challenges, expansion, and freedom. 7, spiritual awakening and connections, like more spiritual downloads. And also just makes me think of like that spiritual protection of whatever you're creating. 3, creation, self expression, and collaboration. So that energy of collaboration is still there. Like I said, continue doing what you're doing because people are seeing it. And there are some people that are going to be drawn towards you and they want to work with you on whatever you're creating. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because that's essentially it. Um, feels like a very expansive month, and again, it's interesting because we are headed closer to 2026, and yeah, there's just I don't know a lot of new beginnings in different areas, and yeah, all I want to say is like stay open and don't swim against the current. If you're trying to and you're trying to hold and control something in your life that wants to be let go of, let go. Let go and let whatever is meant for you come in because it will. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to end this here. Sending you so much love and have a great, great month of November.